Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaron. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for returning and checking out my videos. Alright, so today, finally the review for The Batman. I was super hyped for this movie. I pre-ordered my ticket, I got the first showing, 3 o'clock, hardly anybody there. It was great. I'm really gonna try and avoid spoilers, because if I include spoilers, I could probably make this review like 25 minutes. So I'm gonna try and avoid those. Alright, so my thoughts. Yes, it's a long movie. It's 3 hours long. And I gotta say that the pace was really, really well done for a 3-hour movie. There was never a point where I felt the film was dragging or that it was speeding along through things. So that was really nice. I love when movies can do that. I felt the same way with Dune. I think that movie was 2.5, 3 hours long, somewhere around there, and I felt like it had really good pace, and I felt The Batman had really good pace. So The Batman now is Robert Pattinson. I don't really need to talk about what he's been in because anybody who has seen whatever, you know what I'm talking about, the vampire stuff. Anyhow, I was one of these people who kind of had some hope and faith that he was going to be a pretty good Batman. I know originally a lot of people were like, oh, this is going to suck, Batman's going to suck, he's not Batman. And it was like, we haven't even seen a trailer yet. Then we saw a trailer, he looked awesome in it, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty stoked for Robert Pattinson to be Batman. And I gotta say, in this movie, he does not disappoint. I thought he was a great Batman. As Bruce Wayne, here's the thing that I kind of had a difficulty with. There's not much of this movie where he is Bruce Wayne, but when he is, he doesn't feel like he's putting on that persona of the rich playboy type of person that he should be putting on. I mean, the whole thing with Batman is that is who he is, and he has to pretend to be the public's view of Bruce Wayne. And you don't really see that in this movie. I'm not sure if it was going for that on purpose. You can tell Batman is just weighed down, and even when he's not being Batman and he's being Bruce Wayne, he's just beat. So I totally understand him not keeping up that image and pretending to be something he's not. So I get that, but it would have been nice to see more of the Bruce Wayne side of things. So like I said, this movie is 3 hours long. It's not really an action movie. It's not really a superhero movie. It doesn't have any of those big battles and stuff going on. It's a very solid, set in Gotham City Batman movie. There's no Superman, there's no Shazam, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. This is back to its roots of there's just Batman. Similar to Nolan's trilogy. I liked Nolan's trilogy. I like it a lot, actually. I think The Dark Knight is one of the best, definitely on the top 20 movies everybody should see. And this felt like it was going for that more realistic Batman. And in some ways, it felt more realistic, and in other ways, it didn't. There were a few callbacks to the Dark Knight trilogy. There was a couple times when Robert Pattinson was Batman where he'd say something, and you could tell his voice started to go into that Christian Bale Batman voice. Like there's this part where he calls someone a psychopath, and he sounds exactly like Christian Bale in the Dark Knight movies. I liked what Robert Pattinson did with his voice in general. He just kind of lowered it a lot. And as Bruce Wayne, his voice was kind of higher. So it was kind of more like this. And then as Batman, it was a lot deeper. So moving on. Like I said, there isn't a lot of action in this movie. It's really more of a detective thriller. And I liked that. One of his titles is The World's Greatest Detective. And we finally see him using his detective work in this movie, and that was nice to see. So it didn't rely on action, and the scenes where there was action, it was good enough that it fit within the story. I would have preferred the Batmobile chase to be a little longer, just because I thought the Batmobile was totally awesome. When the Batmobile started its engine, I was like in the chair and I just like grinned. I was like, yes, this is gonna be epic. And it was, but I would have preferred it to be just a little longer. But it was really good. The fight choreography, it felt pretty raw. I mean, there's parts where he gets shot, he gets hit over the head with a crowbar while he's fighting off some other people. Like, it felt real organic. It just felt natural. As far as the graphic violence, I went into this really expecting it to be a lot worse than it was. I'm wondering if when they release the film, if they're going to have like a director's cut that's like 3.5, 4 hours long, that's like R-rated or something. I felt like it was really toned and held back compared to what it could have been. I really felt they could have pushed that PG-13 boundary more, and they didn't, which was fine, but the fact that the whole movie feels so grounded and dark and gritty and depressing, and then not to have that kind of brutality and gruesomeness shown on the screen, it just felt kind of like out of place. Like everything else is super dark, but we're not going to show too much violence. Just felt odd. The detective story itself, it kind of reminded me of the film Seven, which is a great detective thriller as well. But it had that kind of feel to it, so that was interesting. From the trailer, everything we see is set at nighttime. And I'm like, if this whole movie is set at night, are we going to be able to see what's going on? Because I hate movies where it's in the dark and you can't see anything. Turns out the movie is about 90-95% spent in the night or in the dark. But it was filmed very realistically, but with enough lighting, you can totally tell what's going on, and I really, really appreciated that. My enjoyment, I would give it an 8. As a film, I would give it an 8 as well. I thought it was really well done. For rewatchability, like I will definitely watch this again. I'll probably try and buy it if I can find a good steelbook cover for it. But this isn't something that has that rewatchability like the Dark Knight trilogy has. Well, thanks for watching this rather long review in comparison to my others. Comment below what you thought about the Batman if you've seen it. Like this video and subscribe if you would. I would much appreciate it. And thanks for checking out this video. My name is Aaron, and goodbye.